G'day. Today we're doing a repair on a 300C, a 1992 I think it is, Mercedes. It's got the 7225 transmission in it, and it's just arrived on the tow truck. There's no drive and there's just a little bit of reverse. So we're just going to go through and see what we can find. Now I've just checked the oil level in it. The oil's pretty dark in it, so it's probably burnt something out. And he's done 351,000 kilometres. So he's not sure when the transmission's been serviced last, so we'll examine that. Now I've just had a bit of an inspection of it. There are a few little oil leaks here. These have a little vacuum modulator there. You can see it there on the passenger side or on the left hand side of the transmission, and they have little switches and sensors everywhere. So I'm suspecting that it's actually got a blocked filter on it. And what I've done, if you can see, I've got these large neodymium magnets, and while I'm doing little checks and everything, I've put those on there to hopefully attract any fine metal that may be floating around in the pan, and it'll keep the filter cleaner while I'm testing it. But you can see that there is a fairly firm reverse. It's creeping forward in neutral a little bit when I rev it, and in drive I've got to actually rev it to get it moving. I've got a little wheel stop there, and you can see I've got to rev it a fair bit to get it even to go over that wheel stop. Wheel stop's only probably about 2 centimetres high. So it looks like we're going to have to at least drop the pan on this one and have a look what's going on. I'll just leave that idling a little bit just so it circulates that oil around to allow those magnets to work a little bit. Okay, I've got the pan off on this. And just one other thing I'll just show you. To correctly identify the transmission, you'll see this one's a 7225010. The 3 numbers after the 7225 just show the actual model of this particular transmission. And you can see how much sludge is in the pan there. You can see where those magnets are, those round things there, but it definitely hasn't been serviced for quite a while. It looks like he's burnt out a clutch. You can see all these little flaky bits, the non-magnetic material that's in there. So he's possibly burnt out the bands and the clutches. So depending on what this owner of this vehicle wants to do, a service is going to be a very temporary remedy for it. It'll definitely show an improvement when we replace the filter and clean it up, but if there's been damage to the clutches and the bands, then there's not much you can do without pulling the transmission out and at least doing a partial overhaul. But with the mileage on this one, 350,000, I'd say it would be a full overhaul. Like I mentioned earlier, you always check the basics first. Fluid level, all these little connectors, make sure the modulator's not leaking, and that the vacuum line's correctly You can see the vacuum line there as well, that it's correctly placed on the manifold and it's not leaking. So anyway, I'll get onto the owner and see what he wants to do. Thank you for watching.